Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I wanted to make a short but important video. And the topic I want to talk about is your childhood trauma. My childhood trauma. Our childhood trauma. Because the truth is, it's always there. Because what a great many of us went through. Growing up in a home with a narcissist parent or parent. No child should have to grow up in. And though the trauma will likely be with us forever. Because we can't have our memories erased and replaced with false past experiences of happiness and love. But what we can do is understand it's there. And to, as we say, be good to ourselves and to be understanding with ourselves. Because you see, healing is an ongoing process. Some days it appears that our healing is going well and we are doing great. Other days not so much. And the truth is, most of the people that grew up how many of us grew up, would have been in a mental institution a long time ago. Or worse. I was told by a therapist that I went to see many years back. And he told me, James, you have an extremely good grasp on what has happened to you and what you've gone through. Please pat yourself on the back. Because most people that went through what you went through usually do not turn out normal and have a lot of problems functioning normally in society. And for those of you that are here on this channel, that message likely applies to you as well. But does it mean the trauma is gone? No. It's still there. And sometimes just thinking about it at a particular time can make one tear up and get emotional. That all of that stuff happened to you when you were helpless and just a kid. I will leave a link to a video of a professional UFC fighter named Sean Strickland. He's on the Theo Von podcast. And Sean is a very rough around the edges person. And he did grow up in a very abusive household. But when he gets to a part of his story, he talks about because of his home environment. He had to stay up until 3 in the morning most nights at the age of 7 or 8 years old. And when he got to school he would sadly start falling asleep in class. And the teacher, instead of having empathy and trying to figure out what was wrong, took his desk away from him. And forced him to stand up. To which later he would fall asleep on the floor. But in the middle of the story, Sean just broke down, it seemed. Because the trauma of the situation he was in as a child was still there with him as an adult. And at first Theo didn't catch on and was continuing with the conversation. But then realized Sean was in the moment of that trauma that happened so many years ago. And Theo very kindly said, "We don't have to talk. We can just sit here for a minute if you would like." You see, the problem for most of us is, who do we have to tell this stuff to? Because if we do, we are seen as weak or targets. This is why I'm so happy for Ollie Matthews and his wife Charlene. For the simple fact they have each other. They both grew up in this mess. And they both understand one another. And though Ollie has a tough I don't take any mess persona, he's still a man of love and empathy. And if he's ever had a moment where he broke emotionally like this, I doubt very seriously Charlene would ever dream of using it against him. And vice versa. They both understand one another. And they both help one another. This is why we've talked about the Rocky movies a lot and how they have inspired me. Not because it's a cool movie about doing better. But it's a movie about a man that was thrown away and likely abused his entire life and has nothing or no one. And before you know it, he's blessed with love. Unconditional love. Which is all he's ever wanted. Which is all we've ever wanted. And that's what our parent or parents were supposed to give to us. And instead of not giving us that unconditional love, they took pleasure in withholding that love from us and watching us squirm around and failing at life. But the truth is, you are not a failure. Maybe you have a great job. Maybe you are barely able to pay your bills because you don't earn very much. Your worth is not in your money. Your worth is who you are. And what you were able to overcome. And trust me, there will be more overcoming. We just have to be there for one another. In the same kind and loving way that Theo was there for Sean. Now in this link, His words get very strong and very dark. But it's just a sad testament on the fact we have a problem of abused people not only being physically abused, but emotionally as well. And all of the above has a ripple effect on society. Because though many of us never thought about hurting people like Sean talks about. Because for me, though I wanted to learn how to defend myself, even when I could fight back, there were many times I didn't. Because I was so scared of getting into trouble. I didn't think anyone would have my back. Simply because the teachers mistreated me as well. So most times I would just take it. And on a few occasions I would fight back. But I never got a sense of joy from that. I always felt sad. I never went to school with my fist balled up. But I went to school with a knot in my stomach and how I was going to get mistreated that day. The last thing on my mind was beating someone up. Though I did learn how to defend myself, I just didn't like it. And to this day, when I think about how young I was, and how grown teachers were doing what they could to make life hard for me, knowing that I had to go home to a terrible home life, and also deal with the bullying of other kids, it really gets to me. Because no child should have to go through that. I still to this day, when I watch round 14 of Rocky, I get very emotional. Because I'm right back there as a child. And I'm right back there in my pain and trauma. And as most of you know that know me and this channel, Sylvester Stallone grew up in the same pain and trauma as most of us here. And that is likely why round 14 looks the way it does and has touched millions of people's lives. But with that said, please, be good to yourself. It's hard when people judge you and you've kept how you feel inside because you can't tell anyone for fear of it being used against you. Or your significant other will somehow see you as weak. You're not weak. Weak people don't go through what we went through and come out as normal as you and the other people here have become. So please pat yourself on the back. And know God is indeed with you. He never promised an easy pain-free life. But He is with you. And I am praying for you. Yes. From Cartoon Land. I send my prayers out to you for your healing. And that may God love and protect you. Because you are one of His children. Please. Please love yourself. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.